What's going on, YouTube? I've had some emails and comments from a number of viewers asking me to go over premiums and spot price, what determines each. I did a community tab the other day asking folks if I should touch on stuff for newer stackers and kind of go back to the basics a little bit. And it seemed that more voted for that than against it. So here we are. Let's talk about your bottom line. Alright. The Comex is the futures market for metals, which determines the price to a great degree, along with supply and demand. It's funny how the paper markets, the future markets, determine the physical price. It's ridiculous. But anyway, so basically in the Comex, you make your order for metals at a certain price today to take delivery on, at a later date, hoping the price goes up in in most instances. Problem is, a lot of us believe that the Comex isn't going to have all the metal for all the people if they want to pull their orders. And we as stackers, we don't like IOUs. We like money. So that's one big factor that determines the spot price of physical metal. Another is supply and demand, right? And the Comex is partially to do with that on the paper end of things, but supply and demand. Savage did a great video today. It'll be yesterday by the time this drops for you, but he did it today. And he talked about mining costs, fuel, stuff like that. Absolutely plays a huge part into it. I will link the video that he did on that if you want to go watch it. It was phenomenal. He really got into that a lot. So good job on that one, brother. But he's right. So it's like a business, whatever that mine has to pay to pull the metal out of the ground, the labor, all that determines the cost. Then you got the refining cost of it. What's the overhead of the refiner? Then you got the minting process at the mint, right? They got to get paid. Then you got your wholesaler, and you got to figure out what your, depending on what your wholesaler's costs are to sell the metal to your LCS or your online bullion dealers greatly affects the price that we end up paying. That's where you get your premium, right? The amount that you pay to take this metal and put it in your hand over the price of the spot price in the market. That's your premium, and that's where a lot of that comes from. I don't know if any of you have ever gone mining. It ain't easy. I've never done hard rock mining. I've done placer mining though, and I'm telling you, it ain't easy. A lot of these guys are, most of the metals that we're looking at come from hard rock mining, if not all these days. And I'll tell you, people got to get they got to get paid. And then it goes from there to the refiner, to the minter, to the wholesaler, to the LCS or your online bullion dealer. I mean, it goes, if you think about it, right? The premiums we're paying for all the work that's involved really isn't that bad, in my opinion. And then you also have other things to think about. Take this quarter-ounce lunar, okay? Well, it takes just as much work, if not more, to make something this small as it does to make a 1-ounce kangaroo or gold eagle or whatever. So you're going to pay a higher premium for the metal. Yes, this is going to cost less, but they're going to mark it up more because they put the same amount, if not more, work into making this as they do a bigger piece. Same is true with silver. What do you think costs more? This 10-ounce buffalo bar, this 10-ounce Asahi bar, or this 10-ounce beautiful piece of art right here? This took so much more work, and it has a collectability appeal to it. You're going to pay more. Personally, I love the Asahi and the buffalo bars, but I had to have this, and I knew I'd pay more. I expected it. More time went into creating it, right? More effort. You got all that coupled with industry. Now this is more true for silver than gold, but gold is used in some industry. It's in your computer, some dental equipment, stuff like that, jewelry of course. But silver, a lot of the price that we pay is dependent on supply and demand as far as, the demand in the industry. If you remember when the mines were shut down during that thing a few years ago, at least a lot of them, well, the demand for it was there by certain markets, especially stackers. But certain industries, the demand was there, but the supply was constricted because the metals weren't being pulled out of the ground and sent in to be refined and minted or refined and sold. Okay? So that had a lot to do with it. Now industry, you take silver, it's used in solar panels heavily. It's used in EV cars heavily. So if that market drops, it can greatly reduce the price of silver. Also, when people, like right now, okay, you got those banking issues and the bank runs that people talk about. When people go and purchase metals, which they always do when the price goes up, it's so weird. Buy it when it's unloved, you guys. I'm telling you. I mean, I'm not a financial advisor, but I want as much of this in my pocket as I can have when it's the cheapest possible. But right now, you have so many people going to buy metals, and if you don't believe that, you're mistaken. I'm not going to pump it. I don't believe in that. I'm not going to tell you there's a shortage. There might be short-term shortages, but there is no shortage, okay? Very short-lived shortages exist here and there, and it's reflected in the price. People, when they're fearful and when they don't trust the banks, they go buy more metal. Well, what happens? That raises the cost because it lowers the supply available temporarily. And that's what's happening right now. A lot of people are upset at SD Bullion. They're putting out, right now they got a 500 minimum order because they can't keep up. And they're having a hard time getting orders shipped out. And their stock is down. A lot of people are upset about that. Well, think about it. Do you really think that they don't want to sell you 150 bucks worth of silver or 200 bucks worth of gold? Of course they do. They're doing it for a reason. Demand is up right now. That's going to affect the price. Now, conversely, if everybody went and sold their metals tomorrow, which some people are doing because they're fearful of not being able to get cash, but if a lot of people do that and temporarily flood the market, which again is a very, very temporary, short-lived scenario, you're going to have the prices go down because the supply, the availability is higher until people go back and gobble it up. That's just how it works. So I hope this helped explain a little bit about premiums. I'm sure I missed some points. This is just a broad stroke. I tried to keep it really simple for those of you who want to know spot price and premiums and what determine those things and markets. It's really not that hard to understand if you really pay attention to it. I will link Savage's video. He goes into the mining production a little bit more, the issues there. I will link that video, phenomenal video, in the description below. I hope this was useful to you. I hope that it helped you understand a little bit. I am going to be touching on the basics in upcoming videos for all y'all that are new to the stacking. And, hey, I appreciate the support. I can't wait. Today, at the filming of this video, is Saturday. I cannot wait to find out who the winners of the giveaway are on Monday. I am so excited. I can't even tell you. Can't wait. It's going to be a lot of fun. Again, you can catch that on Savage's channel. You can catch the killer video he came out with today on his video. Phenomenal. I think it was called, Is Silver and Gold Going to Go to Zero? Something like that. Great video. Oh, it's right here in my feed. Silver and gold are going to zero. Did I make a mistake? Great title, great video. It's at 14,000 plus views right now. Go check it out. He gets into a lot of the mining stuff that we didn't touch on, and keep stacking.